Well, how complicated things have now become. Just a little bit ago, we found out that the next 4 Sabres games have been postponed. They're not going to be allowed back into a rink until at least next Tuesday. And Taylor Hall and Rasmus Ristolainen have been placed on the COVID protocol list. This really all happened earlier today around 5:30. Jenna Callari, she's in the newsroom right now. Jenna, this really all stems from everything that happened this weekend with the Devils.
It did, and the crazy thing is the first Devil to be placed on the COVID list really was Friday before the games even took place. And you have to think that some of those additional players that were put on the list were considered close contacts because it all started with 1, and since then I think a total of 9 or 10 players additionally have been added to the COVID-19 protocol list. Certainly not a situation you want to be a part of, and unfortunately we think that's kind of trickled into Buffalo.
Yeah, we now know that there have been 18 games up to this point when we're doing this conversation that have now been postponed in the National Hockey League so far this season. 4 of those games will be to the Sabres. And you know, it's funny, earlier in the day when we found out tonight's game would be postponed, John Vogel from The Athletic put out a story that said he heard the Sabres were furious, and rightfully so, because they feel like they did everything they were supposed to do and they shouldn't have been forced into playing this game. I can't imagine how angry they would be now with how this played out throughout the day.
Yeah, he reported that the Sabres actually inquired about those first 2 players and why they couldn't play, and the league and the Devils gave them no information. And you have to think the Sabres would have wanted to postpone that game on Sunday because, like we said, once a player enters COVID protocol, there has to be at least 1 or 2 close contacts. We saw that in the NFL whenever a player was placed on the list, maybe 3 or 4 other players were placed on there as well. So it's a crazy situation. And like we said, we've talked to the Sabres before, and they've said that, you know, they've talked about accountability and responsibility. They've done everything they can. And unfortunately, they're in a situation to really something that they had no control over.
Now here's the statement from the Sabres once again. This was put out around 5:45 tonight. They said players and staff have been closely following and will continue to follow the COVID protocols as outlined by the NHL and the team's medical staff. Our organization will continue to work with the league and our medical team to ensure the health and safety of our players and staff. That is a statement that's basically just like, hey, we didn't do anything wrong. We should not be punished for this. And honestly, the thing here is not the punishment. It's that players were put at risk when they shouldn't have been. That's just my opinion. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. But we do know that when we saw the names on the COVID protocol list for the Devils happen, it was a couple names here, a couple names the next day, a couple names the next day. So this is going to be something that we're going to continue to monitor really for the remainder of the week. And it's going to be a really big story. So we'll see how it plays out. For Jenna Callari, I'm Matt Bove. Thanks for watching.